Breaking news. Dara and Jung reveal secret wedding in the Philippines. Family is here. Was it just a vacation? Or a hidden love story years in the making? Why the Philippines? Why now? And who from the family was spotted at the venue? Let's dive into this stunning revelation, only on Red Carpet Revealed. It was supposed to be just another beautiful morning on the islands of Palawan, clear skies, turquoise waters, and the gentle hum of waves caressing the white sands. At exactly 8:46 a.m. local time, everything changed. A single photograph, uploaded without caption by an anonymous guest at a luxury resort, sent the entire internet into chaos. The image showed two silhouettes standing under a floral arch, hand in hand, framed against the warm glow of a tropical sunrise. I'd wore a simple, yet breathtaking white gown with an off-shoulder neckline and delicate embroidery along the hem. The groom, dressed in a soft ivory tuxedo with no tie, looked both nervous and adoring. The captionless post was shared and reshared until someone zoomed in and asked the question, "Is that Dara?" The answer came faster than anyone expected. Yes, it was Sandara Park, former member of 2NE1, multinational superstar, and one of the most beloved figures in both Korean and Filipino pop culture. And beside her, standing with that unmistakable gentle grin, was Jung Il-woo, K-drama prince, known for his roles in Cinderella and the Four Knights and High Kick, as well as his long-standing reputation for staying fiercely private. For years, fans had speculated about their relationship. It started innocently enough, casual interviews where they praised each other, variety show appearances full of laughter and natural chemistry, and coinciding travel schedules that always seemed just too well timed to be mere coincidence. But both Dara and Jung Il-woo had always denied anything beyond friendship, until today. This wasn't just a wedding. This was a secret ceremony in the most unexpected location, Dara's second home, the Philippines. And it wasn't a PR stunt. It wasn't a photo shoot or a scene from an upcoming drama. It was real. Their families were there. The guests were minimal. The entire event had been kept under wraps with such precision that not even the entertainment media in Korea had the faintest clue. Red Carpet Revealed has confirmed that the wedding took place at a private beach villa on Pamalican Island, known for hosting royalty, Hollywood A-listers, billionaires seeking total discretion. Sources say the venue was rented out in its entirety for 3 days, with strict NDAs signed by every staff member and guest. Even vendors were flown in under coded names. The entire ceremony was planned to feel more like an elopement than a celebrity spectacle, intimate, emotional, and wildly beautiful. The bride's dress was custom designed by a Filipino-Korean designer who has worked with Dara since her early career days in Manila. It was minimal in cut but rich in symbolism. Along the sleeves was hand-stitched with the phrase "Mahal kita, I love you" in Tagalog, and the back of the dress featured a small, blue embroidered butterfly, symbolizing freedom, transformation, and the journey they'd taken to get here. The groom wore a tuxedo made of breathable bamboo silk, chosen not just for its eco-conscious design, but as a subtle nod to the Philippine setting. His boutonniere? A single sampagita flower, the national flower of the Philippines, and one that Dara had once said reminded her of childhood innocence. What made the ceremony even more poignant were the vows. According to one insider, Dara's voice shook with emotion as she said, "I thought I had already lived the best moments of my life. But then you stood beside me when no one else did, not loudly, not with fireworks, but with quiet strength. You reminded me that love doesn't need to be announced, it needs to be felt." Jung Il-woo's reply, whispered but caught on video by a guest, "You were my peace long before I knew I needed one." Guests included both families and a handful of close friends. Notably present was Dara's younger brother Thunder, who performed an acoustic version of "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" as the couple walked down the aisle. An unexpected and touching moment came when Jung Il-woo's mother handed Dara a small ring box containing a sapphire heirloom from the family, given traditionally to the first daughter-in-law. Notably absent from the ceremony was CL, Dara's former bandmate from 2NE1. However, industry sources claim she sent a handwritten letter and a custom poem, which was read during the dinner toast. The message reportedly said, "If love is the greatest comeback, this is your #1 single." The reception was just as understated yet heartfelt. Guests were treated to a traditional Filipino-Korean fusion meal, lekon and kimchi pancakes, kaldrita and bulgogi skewers, halo halo served with Korean rice cakes instead of a DJ or celebrity band. It came from a four-piece acoustic ensemble playing unplugged versions of the couple's favorite songs, including Taeyong's Eyes, Nose, Lips and a Tagalog lullaby Dara's mother used to sing to her. But perhaps the most emotional moment came at the end of the night. As the lanterns floated up into the starry sky, Jung Il-woo turned to Dara and softly said, "We started as friends because the world wouldn't let us be more. But now, even if the world turns away, we have this." A single tear fell from Dara's eye as they held each other close. No makeup, no stylists, no cameras, just two people, deeply in love, finally allowing themselves to be seen. And it was in that moment that every fan theory, every denial, every carefully crafted press response felt irrelevant. Because this wasn't a performance. It was real. News broke the following morning, but by then, the couple was already gone. They had left quietly in a small boat at dawn, bound for a private island honeymoon away from cameras and coverage. Their agencies issued no comment, maintaining the couple's privacy. But the silence only made the moment feel even more sacred. Manila, billboards flashed the words "Congratulations," "Krung" in neon lights, an affectionate nickname that Filipinos have used for Dara since her rise to stardom in the early 2000s. Meanwhile, Korean media scrambled to catch up, with major outlets issuing developing story alerts, citing only undisclosed sources and images believed to be authentic. And yet, none of it felt chaotic. It felt peaceful, like a chapter closing gently, with no drama, no scandal, only love. Fans from both countries flooded social media with congratulations. On Instagram, the post that started it all had now been taken down, but not before amassing over 3.5 million likes. "They deserve this happiness," one comment read. "They gave us years of joy. Now let them live their own." For over a decade, Dara had been a symbol of grace under pressure, an idol who never chased clout but always stayed true to her identity. And Jung Il-woo, known for his quiet strength and gentle heart, had remained one of the few male stars untouched by major scandal or controversy. Together, they formed what one Twitter user perfectly called, "a love story we didn't even know we were rooting for." But perhaps what made this secret wedding so powerful wasn't its secrecy, it was its simplicity. In an era where love is often broadcasted, filtered, and monetized, Dara and Jung Il-woo chose to keep it sacred. No hashtags announced in advance, no designer sponsorships, no television crew tagging along for a reality wedding special. Just vows whispered under coconut trees, just tears shed beneath a golden sky, just love, real, raw, and finally revealed. By the time most of South Korea was just waking up to its usual buzz of morning coffee and muted traffic, social media in the Philippines had already turned into a digital festival. Hashtags like Dara Il-woo wedding, Krung gets married, and island vows were trending simultaneously in both nations. News anchors scrambled to verify details, celebrities texted one another in disbelief. Fan forums exploded with memories, timelines, clues, anything to piece together the love story that had unfolded right under everyone's noses. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about the aftermath of this secret wedding wasn't the press frenzy, it was the couple's silence. Neither Dara nor Jung Il-woo posted anything online, no official photos, no prepared statements, captions. And somehow, that made the moment even more intimate. Fans, for once, respected the silence. There was no backlash, no trolling. Instead, a global wave of admiration surged forward. This was love that didn't beg to be seen, it simply asked to be believed. Insiders at the resort later revealed subtle but moving behind-the-scenes details that never made it to any tabloid. Hours before the ceremony, Jung Il-woo reportedly spent nearly 40 minutes alone on the beach, barefoot, pacing slowly as the waves rolled in. No phone, no entourage, just him, rehearsing his vows out loud, getting them right. Dara, meanwhile, stayed in a small bungalow with her stylist and childhood best friend, watching the sky shift colors. She wasn't nervous. According to those present, she was serene. She kept whispering, "Finally," apostrophe one close friend shared. At a reception, held at twilight under canopies of lanterns and fairy lights, wasn't lavish by celebrity standards, but it didn't need to be. There were no towering cakes or firework displays. Instead, there was storytelling. Each guest stood up and shared a memory of the couple, how they met, how they grew together. Little things they noticed. One touching moment came when an elderly Filipino woman, neighbor from Dara's youth in the Philippines, stood up and, in Tagalog, said, "I've always carried our love with you. Now let this man carry yours." The next day, the couple vanished. No one knows exactly where they went, though it's widely believed they boarded a private seaplane headed for a neighboring island, free from media and responsibility. Agencies stayed silent. And slowly, the noise died down. But the story didn't. What followed was perhaps the most beautiful unraveling of secrets the K-pop and K-drama worlds had ever seen. Within 48 hours, old interviews began to resurface. A 2018 clip of Jung Il-woo on a variety show saying, "I want to get married in a quiet, beautiful place. Maybe somewhere warm, where we can walk barefoot," was now seen with new meaning. 2019 Instagram Live, where Dara absent-mindedly played with a silver band on her right hand, suddenly looked suspiciously like a pre-engagement token. Fans dug deeper and found a coinciding vacation both took in Cebu in 2020, then laughed at themselves for missing all the signs. One by one, friends of the couple began offering small congratulations, not in press statements, but in poetic, subtle social media posts. Jung Hyo-jin posted a photo of the ocean and simply wrote, "True love doesn't make noise." Park Bom, Dara's longtime friend from 2021, posted a vintage picture of them hugging, captioned, "You always deserved a quiet kind of happiness." Even Lee Minutes Ho, Jung Il-woo's best friend since high school, posted 3 emojis. No names. Tags. Just love. The couple didn't return to Seoul immediately. Instead, took what can only be described as a media blackout honeymoon. No schedule, no paparazzi. When they were finally spotted weeks later, was at Incheon International Airport, casually dressed, no security detail. Jung Il-woo was carrying both their bags. Dara wore no makeup. They both smiled politely to a few stunned fans but said nothing. It was enough. What followed back home was fascinating. Variety shows suddenly changed tone, lightheartedly teasing the couple in segments, with Mix saying things like, "That Il-woo's off the market, who's next?" Fashion magazines published pieces about island bridal fashion and how to plan a wedding with crunk elegance. Even real estate blogs covered the Palawan resort's spike in booking inquiries from Korean couples. But amid the celebration was something deeper, admiration. Decades, celebrity relationships in Korea were shrouded in secrecy, denials, and public breakdowns. Scandals often followed every date, every car ride, every tabloid whisper. Dara and Jung Il-woo rewrote the script. They didn't tease the public. They didn't sell their story. They simply lived it, quietly, honestly, and with immense dignity. An editorial in a major Korean daily summed it up best. In an industry where love is often currency and image is everything, these two reminded us what it means to be human first. Didn't marry for the cameras. They married despite them. And perhaps that's why this story touched so many, because beyond the designer dress and the exotic island, and the fame and headlines, was something universal, a love that waited, grew, bloomed without needing the world's approval. Industry insiders have since confirmed that both stars will be taking short breaks. Dara reportedly turned down several entertainment show offers, wanting instead to focus on an upcoming fashion collaboration inspired by her Filipino roots. Jung Il-woo, who recently wrapped up a thriller drama, has opted to take 6 months off to travel and recharge, as his agency quietly confirmed. Meanwhile, fans continued to send gifts, letters, and digital tributes. A fan project in Seoul lit up an entire digital billboard in Gangnam with the message, "To the couple who gave us hope, thank you for showing us love doesn't need an audience." In Manila, the Filipino government is reportedly considering inviting the couple for a cultural ambassador campaign, citing their symbolic unity between two nations. Through it all, the couple remains quietly themselves. They have not opened a joint YouTube channel. They have not filmed a Netflix wedding special. They have not released a tell-all interview. All they've done is love. And perhaps, In a world so desperate for stories, that's the best story of all. 5 minutes was all it took for the photo to change everything. 5 minutes, and a lifetime of waiting. Island remembers. The waves remember. The hearts of millions remember. And now, so do we. Because 5 minutes ago, the world paused for something rare. A secret wedding, a quiet vow, and two people who chose each other, without needing to explain.